Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, we're here to ask, what is the most defensive build you can make on NBA 2K24? And in today's video, we also have listed, unironically, a defensive menace. Obviously, you know, it's a pretty traditional lockdown title, but it is going to be entirely a defensive menace. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to win 2,000 likes. So, to start off with, when I was looking for this, I'm trying to think what is the best height that is a combo of a perimeter and interior defensive absolute god. So aka, what are the heights that give you the best thresholds between prim D, steal, block, and just rebounding as well entirely. Not to mention, I still am going to be factoring a lot of the physicals in as well, between speed, strength, even maybe still vertical, not quite as much, but acceleration even still plays a factor because you want the fast feet badge on at least silver, sometimes maybe even gold if you could attempt for it. Anyway, as I was scrolling through, I was pretty much looking for like the caps that you can get on 6.8s. 6.8s can still give very good perimeter D, block, all that combo where you're going for like the gold anchor and then the Hoff Challenger with the 94 prim D, while even still having really good rebounding and strength. However, I settled it on 6'7", and as you can see, it's this weight combo as well. Now, in revision, I actually do think if you wanted to go max weight 250 pounds right here, it actually gets you even closer to the next body shape. And I'm here to tell you guys right now, I think the body shapes can even still be impactful at lock. To be a gigantic bumpy lock, it can actually be quite effective in this game. So again, you can make that at 250 if you would like as well yourself, but I wanted to make something at least playable. I wanted it to have ratings that are not complete garbage, but are pretty garbage even still on the offensive end. But with the 50 driving dunk, you're going to be able to get a lot of packages that are at least still decent, and then 40 standing dunk gives you the standing dunk packages, just one animation that you can get. But this will still allow you to dunk the ball, period, between Manu Ginobili dunk package, the CJ McCollum, and then you could also just put a couple basic ones on as well. But for the most part, you are a very standard minimalistic dunker that also still has garbage pass act too. Now, is this going over the top on defense? Absolutely it is. I've already talked about how I don't think interior defense is an extremely valuable thing in this game. Like, you can definitely get away with 61 interior D and like 78 block in my personal opinion. However, the added ability to still play good interior D and even still have post lockdown anchor, all this stuff, there's not a single build in the game that's going to give you a problem. You can stop post scores that are just trying to spam you with the post spins 24/7. You can stop ISO players that are going to be dribbling on you with, again, 99 steal, Hoff glove, and 94 prim D with a Hoff Challenger. I was considering potentially giving this build 98 prim D because you can get that, and it will give you Hall of Fame pick dodger for having that as well. But the thing is, I do think if you have this type of versatility on a build like this where you have 90 interior defense and 87 block, and even still give it 93 defensive rebound with the fact that you have the high strength that'll give you the Hoff box out beast, you really only need 90 to be able to have that, by the way. But I wanted to give this the Hoff immovable. I think this is another fire feature on a build like this. So everything included, between you being really fast with 84 speed, I think that's very good for an on-ball lockdown, especially at this type of a weight, while still having 95 strength for the Hoff immovable. You even still have brick wall to resist backdowns, gold post move lockdown for the post scores, you got gold clamps as well, the ability to rebound the ball, which I was gonna say makes it a little bit more acceptable to not have the Hoff pick dodger, because honestly, you're still going to be playing switchability type defense where you can actually switch on to the bigs very reliably and consistently. And you know, I even think that 6'7" locks with moderately decent interior defense and block could actually switch on to bigs and stop them on close shots. And with standing dunk meter, which is very valuable and honestly pretty acceptable to do in this year's game, the standing dunks can be very good, especially with the meter, and it's all about interior defensive positioning rather than the ratings actually applying. Now, I know that's really, you know, not the point of what I'm talking about here, because I'm showing you a build that has 90 freaking interior defense, which is pretty over the top. However, it is kind of cheap, as you can see. If you go all the way down to 74, where you get bronze post move lockdown, it's not even the cost of one overall point. You can even go even further to the point of like 72 just for silver anchor, and it's still only going to be one attribute point worth of going up from 98 to 99. Now, to be fair, it's kind of close to 2 technically, because we're going to the minimum of 98 and then the maximum of 99. But either way, my point being is interior defense is actually pretty cheap, and then you combine that with having the 87 block for that gold chase down artist, silver anchor, and even still just being able to block shots. And then also, like, I don't even know where else you would put it besides to level out your pass accuracy to a more acceptable rate. In case you guys didn't know, this like complete glitches in the game where if you're a shooting guard build, you get pro dribble style by default, even if you don't have a high enough speed with ball. Same thing applies to small forwards for normal dribble style. You will get normal dribble style even though you don't have a 40 speed with ball. It's pretty stupid, but it's acceptable in terms of making it a build like this. And then the 3-point rating is not entirely ideal. Obviously, the rating that you could go a little bit higher on to get better jump shot bases that are a little bit more along the lines of like 82, 83, 84 are the main ideal ones, but you can still get decent shots with the 79 three-pointer. I will let you know though, if you're trying to capitalize on that and get some of the best shots possible, like I said, you may want to target something more along the lines of an 82 to 83 three-pointer, or even 84 for that Nas Little one that I've been trying to put you guys onto for the last couple of videos. Also, if you guys didn't know, I'm pairing up with the NBA 2K Lab this year, so you can use code Laker for 20% off at checkout at their website. That's NBA2KLab.com. On this website is all types of really good statistical jump shot information. You can also test the jumpers on their website too. Plug the controller straight into your phone or to your PC. You can get early, green, late. It'll tell you where you need to adjust on that jump shot, or if you don't know what jumper you want to run, you just go to their jump shot recommender. You punch in your height, the jump shot rating that you're working with, and then based on the milliseconds of timing that you get, it'll recommend you a jump shot. So again, if you want to use code Laker for 20% off at checkout, that's NBA2KLab.com. Appreciate you guys, and we'll get back to the video. But anyway, again, to recap, it's acceptable dunking. You will dunk the ball. It's not going to be amazing, and you do not want to be laying the ball up too much. But to be fair, wide opens are wide opens. It's kind of just what it is. And this build is meant to be a corner spot up. You're going to be playing with teammates, 98% of the time, to be honest with you, probably 99 for that matter. And you're a little out your mind if you're going to 1v1 court with a build like this. But to be fair, you could be grading people out pretty bad on the ones. Now, what do you do on an AI after you grade someone out? I don't know, to be real with y'all. It's going to be pretty tough. You're not going to be able to post them up very easily. You're not going to get too many baskets. So again, I think this is more of like a 2s, 3s, and Pro-Am build. And for Pro-Am, I can even still vouch for this personally. I think a build like this in the corner could be very good as long as you're hitting your shots. Simple as that. You don't need to backdoor 24/7 in Pro-Am. It will hurt a little bit off the fact that you do have such a high rebounding that if you can't throw outlet passes, you're kind of, liability in that sense. But to be fair, you're mainly here to get box outs, grab boards, and you can check it down to the point guard or something like that as well. Generally, your center is probably going to be snagging rebounds over top of you, but this is still a very capable build of rebounding, in my opinion. And to be a third rebounder for that matter, because generally you're probably going to be playing with a taller back end 4 or something like that who's like a 6'8" and also still has around 93 defensive rebound. And then you're probably playing with like a 6'11" to 7-foot center that also has 93 or even 99 rebounding potentially. And this is going to be a good third rebounder where you can absolutely make an impact with this, but it's maybe not something that gets used 24/7 super consistently. So do I think this build is competitively viable? I think so, personally. The whole intention of this video is to show what is the most defensive build you can possibly make in 2K24, and in my opinion, this will be it. I obviously wanted to set some baselines of, like, obviously we want to be able to shoot the ball consistently, we want to be able to dunk a little bit on backdoors and not have literally 25 pass accuracy, because it is possible, believe it or not. We could have just made a build with 25 pass accuracy and had absolutely nothing left on it, and then it probably could have allowed us to get to the 98 prim D if we wanted to balance it like super as much as possible, but it didn't seem super worth it, I guess is what I'm getting at. So that's why we ended up with 60 pass ac. I think it's an acceptable rating to be having out the corner, and if you're not involved on offense other than just catch and shoot, simple as that, I think it's okay. Same with the fact that if you get 73 acceleration, you will get the silver fast feet. However, if you want that 94 prim D, it's going to upgrade to 74 acceleration by default. Now again, that's why I wanted to explain to you guys too, if you want to max out that weight and try and attempt to get that biggest body shape possible, you can do that while being at small forward even still. If you wanted to go even further than that and make a 6'7" power forward that is still max wingspan, and you want the furthest weight that you can get while still maintaining that fast feet, 264 is going to be the weight that you're looking at. And ironically with this one too, if you max out your prim D to the 94, it actually isn't even going to force your acceleration up anything more than a 73. So technically, if you're not a believer in acceleration for builds like this, it's actually the most viable thing you can do in that sense. You'll also be keeping 99 stamina, so you get to 94 feet and Hall of Fame workhorse as well. And again, keeping that acceleration to still 73, even though it's not going to force it any higher because you can't get higher, but you still have that 94 prim D, allows you some slight attribute modifications where you could just go a little bit higher in your free throw, or maybe if you want to balance out your pass accuracy a little bit more, you could obviously go ahead and upgrade it differently, but it is quite expensive in terms of comparing it to, let's say, the free throw as well. So anyway, just wanted to give you some pointers and tips and options and stuff like that. But again, the ideology behind this build here is that you're a versatile interior and perimeter defender, and I mean that literally, and 99 steal in the lanes is freaky stuff, man. I mean, to be able to play like lanes with even still 95 on that Hoff interceptor can be really good, but I do think the value of the 99, it plays even better. I've seen it firsthand, and I can definitely vouch for the fact that 99 steal plays godly lanes and obviously is quite the problem when it comes to on-ball steals as well. Now, to be fair, it does cost you 3 overall points to even do that. Like, this goes from 96 to 99 just off going to 99 steal. Is it worth it though? I think steel is one of the most valuable high attributes in the game possible, and it definitely can be vouched for. I've seen it firsthand, and it can be very toxic to play against as well. So positionally, if you're okay with lining up at the 4 sometimes, this would be a build that is okay. And to be fair, I don't even think it's a problem to be lining up at the 4 with a build like this. Again, you can be a lane hawk if you're talking rec or pro-am or anything like that. Again, for pro-am, I'm speaking a little bit more literally because you can pick what roles you're going to be playing in pro-am quite a bit more. So even though you're power forward, you can still play like the lock, simple as that. Whereas for rec, I'm pretty much explaining it like, if you line up at the 4, I think it's still okay. You may not be on ball to getting as many steals opportunity as possible, but this can still play amazing into your defense. You're not going to get mashed at all. You can still rebound against your matchup, and also you can play some insane lanes. You can bait like crazy and drop down, cloud up those passing lanes like crazy, because you're going to be able to like get back to the perimeter, contest your guy with a really good primity, and obviously lurk those lanes as well. And again, the strength being so high, it's pretty elite when it comes to the immovable enforcer style. So anyway, that's all for video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff. And like always, try to win to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put defense or put D in the comments so it supports me right through. And again, this is our original one that had like the 246 technically weight, but 250 is acceptable. But again, that's only because I assume most people want to just make it at a small forward. If you want to go heavier, I vouch for it, bro. I think the heavier builds, they can definitely get pretty bumpy out there, bro. It's looking gigantic on their player models. And obviously it's a little bit of work you'd have to put in on the workouts, but it's not really that hard. If you just get like the first 1 or 2 of them perfectly right, you generally can just get it after like 2 weeks pretty much, and you'll be good from there. So anyway, that's all video. Hope you all enjoyed, and that, take it easy, man. Peace.